Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amit Maurya. Thank you for watching my videos and liking and subscribing and following me. And today's topic is about how do you buy your first investment property. Well, you can YouTube it, a lot of people will teach you that, but I'm actually in researching and I'm in process of actually getting ready to buy my own very first investment property. And so far the research that I have done, I want to share it with you guys, see if your experience is the same or your experience might be different, or very least you might have a little bit more information so you know what to expect. All right, so I did made a video about step 0. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you watch that video, but I'm gonna recap that, and because a lot of that information is translates back into leading up to buying your very first investment property. Okay, so first thing you need is Credit Karma. Know your credit score. All right, there's 3 types of so let's look at Credit Karma real quick. Credit Karma is free. All right, if you do not know, they don't charge you any money. Make sure get high as you can possibly. If there's few things, if you have less than 720 on both of these, make sure you work on it, because lenders don't want to lend anybody below that 720. You can still borrow the money, but the lending game is in investment is cheap money. Okay, 740 is probably your best bet, but what you will really get the amazing rates are start at 760, the advertisement rate. Okay, so for example, this one is good, this one is not good. I don't know my third one yet, so I gotta look into that. Okay, the next step is, after you know your credit score, build up your saving. Okay, here's I have $200 here, but you can go ahead and get Marcus if you want to get a little bit more interest rate, and because so this 0.52 APY is not really that good, and I don't want to take out money, so I'm just leaving it for now. Okay, but you can essentially build your own interest saving account by yourself, or you can do it with me. This is the first time I had put in $100, actually put in 200 more dollars. So right now, by the time you watch, you would probably have somewhere close to $300 or $400. You can just follow along. I'll keep making update and remind you guys, hey, please put in your $100. So the goal is every time you get paid, put $100. Okay, so if you're getting twice a month paid, put $100 in that. You won't get a lot of money, but the first goal is to save you for $1,000. After $1,000, you're gonna basically double down, or if not 4 times, 5 times, because essentially we need to get like $40,000, $20,000 of saving account in order for to take that money, be able to put a down payment. Okay, the reason you want to do such a high amount of down payment is, let's say if your house is costing you, that you're buying is $100,000, is $20,000 flat out math here. That $20,000 needs to come out of your saving account. You can no longer get 100% financing, because believe me, I actually tried. I have a line of credit that I can borrow up to $35,000. I have credit card that I can spend close to $20,000, but they said no. The only thing you can do is get it from your 401k, stock market that you have saved, or saving account. So yeah, they don't want you to borrow loan to be able to pay the down payment. So that is kind of tricky. There might be somebody might tell you some otherwise, but you can do your own research. But you do need about that much money, $40,000-$50,000 if you're gonna buy 200k houses. Okay, so hopefully first you got your interest taken, your credit score taken care. Second, you're getting at least 1% interest rate on your saving account while that you're accumulating that money. Okay, because that amount of time is probably gonna take you to fix your credit score Okay, these credit score, well, probably gonna take you same amount of time to get your saving to that, because if you have debt that is like, let's say, credit card debt or some other debt, you might want to pay that off because you want to have much liquid as possible. All right. All right. So the next one is, here's a website that I have discovered about 2 years or a year and a half now. Roofstock. They're like a fintech company. Very interesting concept. I sometimes find their value to be a bit high, but there are every once in a while you can find basically the housing here that you can invest in. For example, I live in Washington D.C. area. Here, housing market is right now. I'm 30 miles out. I'm in Virginia. $400,000 for a single family house that has 3 or 2 bedroom. This one, if you can see, 164. This house that costing you, exact same house that where I am, will cost you close to $500,000. Okay, versus here San Antonio, Texas. This is how you can research out of state properties, and then these are all just research. While you're doing research, you should talk to your banker. Okay, those bankers basically gonna lend you the money, that 80%, because not everybody has that 100% of financing. So if you're gonna buy something up $200,000, you still need to come up with $160,000 of financing. Now, not every bank or credit union loans that money. That's one of the problems that I have. So what you're looking at on my screen here is actually a list of vendors and their minimum that I am able to so far. Go ahead, and here's their information. This is I am loan, right? They do $50,000 minimum, and there's the email, there's phone number. This Axios Bank, it's pretty interesting. I've been talking to this lady. They're very, very chill back. I like them. No pressure. This Rocket Mortgage one, minimum is 100,000, and I feel like they're a little bit more, I don't know, out there. In terms of, I fill out the information, but they were supposed to give me pre-approved, but they actually ran a hard inquiry, which is like stupid. So if you don't want vendor credit, the banks doing hard inquiry, tell them not to, and that's why I kind of don't want to go with them anymore. I've been working with this one. I also have heard good reviews about North Point, but there are other ones that better mortgage. You can do it online yourself. Blue Leaf Lending, Cardinal Financing, Guaranteed Rate. These are some of the lenders that you can go and ask for money, right? If you find, let's say, in Tennessee, Memphis, a house that is $60,000 house, you can put that 20% and go ahead and finance it with these North Point people. They most likely will finance you if everything checks out. If you have, in order for them to give you that pre-approved letter, right? You can take this pre-approved letter, then you can go ahead and shop around. Either you can buy off the Roofstock. You can basically, you just whatever the property you find. For example, I have a few here. Let's say this one. Here I did the 20%, right? So out of $61,000, if I were to put 20%, my initial investment would be $13,868. Now this does not include your there's a closing fees, which I'm a bit surprised. It's costing almost $5-6 grand or $7 grand, based on the banks, I think. So make sure you have a little bit more money. Okay, so 20K is probably a good amount. But you want to get down to where it says financial. Make sure you log in, so you can see a lot of the datas. See your monthly income, $230. If whoever's buying this is what they can expect at monthly cash flow. After that 20%, obviously this is not set in stone because this number can change, but do not buy anything less than $150 a month. It's not worth the headache. You can put that money in some ETF at that point and get that 5 to 6% return and don't have to do much work. Okay. One other feature that I do like about this platform, they do inspection. So you can look at everything about this property. Look at inspection report. Okay. So There you go. They provide you very nice inspection so you can know everything about it, what's wrong, what's not wrong. Another inspection, and they tell you how much of estimated things that they think that needs to get fixed, and their pricing. And a lot of time they actually, the whoever's selling, they actually fix it, so that's why they have it. They have inspection report and a couple other things. Feel free to look around, but what I do want to cover is the analysis part. If you look at here, no, actually maybe where is it? Right here, you can easily see what needs fixing. In this case, they just need landscape. Obviously, landscape doesn't really matter if there's no HOA, long as it looks good. You know, whoever's renting, you can look at easily the rent. How much rent is currently is $850. In the summary, it tells you if it's vacant. Right now, it's vacant, but is lease up guaranteed, and that lease up guarantee, basically there's some kind of assurance if it doesn't lease, you don't get the rent. They'll buy the Roofstock itself, buys the property off you. You have to read that fine print for yourself. But let's say even if you don't want to do this, you can even go look at this, go under here properties. You can look at this turnkey. Basically the turnkey concept is these houses been already built and they already been fixed, they already been rehab, and they already have renter. You just buy that key from, so you don't make much profit, but this is a great way to get in. I am thinking of doing this thing because quite honestly I do not have that much of real estate experience. I do know how to run a business, but real estate obviously is different. And look at this thing right here in somewhere in Georgia, McDonald. This 2019 right now, this is 1 year old house, and you know there's a house for 200K. I might actually think of this one, because they reduce 5, if they can reduce a little bit more, I think this would be in my price range. Okay, because newer houses essentially don't have much of a problem. And look at this, this is essentially good neighborhood. Obviously I'm gonna have to Google, but anything, this is perfect almost. Okay, so that's how you do a research on the if you want to do it out of state. Now you can also do a JILO and then invest in your neighborhood, but a lot of times the problem is it doesn't, the number doesn't work. If the number doesn't work, you might have to pay out of your pocket, which in that case, you know, it's being first time homeowner, as an investor, it's going to be tricky and you might freak out.